Why this story matters. This is one of those stories that quietly proves progress doesn't always come with loud headlines.
Quick summary: this story highlights recent developments related to public transportation, showing how constructive action can lead to meaningful results.
Teehee Open Air Central Bus Station in Dunkirk feels like a Formula One pit lane. In the space of a few minutes, a dozen pink, green, and blue buses speed in and out, with passengers descending and mounting to all available doors. The arrivals boards, displaying destinations such as Grand Sind, Capella Grande, and Marlow Les Bains, ticks over so quickly it's as if drivers are vying for a podium spot. As the C4 bus pulls in, a teenage girl with chunky headphones and a mother with a baby in a stroller are among those to board. But there are no beeps registering cards, nor the clink of coins used to pay for tickets,
Because in this northern French city, no passenger pays.
It's not bad, really not bad, says Theo, a 23-year-old gardener in the city, and a daily user of the service, in typical French understatement.
You never have to wait long.
There's less car traffic and less pollution because of it. And it's free. Would you like to read more good news about public transportation, urbanism, cities, towns, France, bus, and free public transportations? Bus passenger numbers have increased by 165% since free bus travel was introduced, according to Dunkirk City Hall.
Credit Peter Yoon. In 2014, Dunkirk made the decision to get on board with free public transit.
Mayor Patrice Vergeret, who has a doctorate in urban planning, pledged during his election campaign that the city would become the largest in France to drop fares on local networks. Today, about 120 vehicles labeled 100 free bus 7 days a week crisscross the city and its surroundings, giving 200,000 residents free access to 80 routes. We made this decision to prioritize freedom for residents and really create a shock to improve mobility in Dunkirk, says Jean-François Montagny, the deputy mayor of Dunkirk and head of the region's ecological transition efforts. Proponents like Montagny say that making public transit free reduces carbon emissions, air pollution, and traffic, and supports low-income households. They also argue that a funding model that relies on government subsidy rather than passenger fares is more resilient in the face of shocks like pandemics. But critics say that there are high costs linked to these policies and that scaling them up to sprawling metropolitan hubs, just as New York City's new mayor Zoran Mamdani has pledged to do, is unlikely to be a smoother ride. In Dunkirk, it took 4 years, from 2014 to 2018, for efforts to hit the roads. First, authorities publicized the program in the media and on the streets, carried out surveys with residents, simplified and reworked timetables, improved the quality of vehicles, repositioned bus stops, and increased the size of the fleet. In 2017, they launched free travel on weekends as a testing period before rolling out the service 7 days a week in September 2018. You can't just make buses free from one day to the next, says Montagny. If the service is underused, timetables not well understood, if buses are always late, and you don't change people's views of public transit, then it won't work. Central to Dunkirk's strategy was reinventing the image of public buses, which were typically seen as overloaded, unclean, and not particularly safe. Authorities now clean buses every day, and if a seat is broken, then it is replaced within a day. Each route, they decided, should have a scheduled arrival every 10 minutes. Smartphone applications also allow passengers to track where and how full their bus is. More than 45 local authorities in France have made some form of public transport free for all passengers. Credit Peter Yoon. These might seem like small details, but we worked a lot on this, says Montagny. And just over a decade since Dunkirk kickstarted its free bus program, the policy has hit top gear. According to Dunkirk City Hall, the number of bus passengers has increased by 165% since the initiative was introduced. In Dunkirk, it's led to a huge rise in users, it's revitalized the city, and it works as a kind of social redistribution, says Maxime Her, a lecturer in political sciences at France's University of Perpignan-Vieux-Domager, who has studied the program. A 2019 study by the Observatory of Free Transport Cities, an independent body, found that the policy has led to residents making more trips to the city centre, that about half of the new bus riders were taking bus journeys they previously made by car, and that the attractiveness and image of the city has improved. Separate research in 2020 found that free buses are helping young people in Dunkirk shift away from the idealised image of private car ownership. Indeed, according to Montagny, City Hall figures show that 10% of Dunkirk bus users have abandoned their cars since 2018, cutting use of city parking lots by 30%. Meeks, a 75-year-old retiree, stopped driving 2 years ago with her weakening eyesight and the ease of the free bus transport as an alternative. She's pleased that there's even a standalone night service akin to a Citroën Uber service that can be ordered on demand at 10 p.m, taking her directly home for just $2 when she goes to the theatre. I think it's really super. It's very well serviced, she says. In France, where the transportation sector accounts for 34% of greenhouse gas emissions, a growing number of authorities are getting on board with free public transits. Today, more than 45 local authorities have made some form of public transport free for all passengers, including Aubagne, Compiègne and Montpellier. In the latter, where the policy applies only to permanent residents, bus ridership increased by 27% in just 1 year, and the number of people